That's not a big deal. Just get you a pair of pliers, grab a hold of the nail, bend it back and forth a few times. That nail will snap off. Just clean that up a little bit, you'll be just fine. I'm Jason Hendrickson, and this is our carpentry program here at Volunteer High School. We started this program shortly after I made a visit to Sullivan Central High School and saw what Mr. Putney and his building trades program was working on. Loved what they were doing with their cabin, and we decided to come here and start a cabin program of our own. This is basically teaching the students every skill they would need to know to build a house. They work with framing, roofing, electrical, plumbing, finish carpentry, cabinetry, pretty much anything that you would find on a residential construction site. These kids are getting an experience in that. We started this in March last year, so 2014. We are almost completed, so we'll be right at 1 year. The very first thing is we get into contract with a buyer, and we work with the buyer from the very beginning to establish a floor plan and a layout and iron out as many details as possible in the beginning. And from that point, we start from the ground up and build it to the needs of each customer. There is quite a bit of custom work in this. It's an exposed beam ceiling, which required a lot of engineered products. The insulation in the ceiling is called an SIP. It's a structural insulated panel. Those were engineered in a factory and made just for this project. We have 6 by 8 inch pine beams inside that are exposed. So the floor plan from the very beginning is all custom drawn. We don't have a final cost on this yet. This one was probably a little higher than what it could be. Some higher end materials were used in this as far as the flooring and the cabinetry and things like that. This one is probably looking at around $30,000. It takes a little longer. We have an hour and a half per class, and I have 3 classes come through at an hour and a half a day. Then we have a 45-minute class, which is really difficult to get a lot done in that time, but we manage. And,
barely get your tool belt on in 45 minutes.
It's just about time to clean up.
Drink your coffee, and then it's time to change.
So yeah, it takes a little longer because of the scheduling, but I think it's going smooth. We're I would say slightly behind schedule, but nothing to.
It's first time.
It is. It's our first time around at this, and I think I'm learning just as much as the students are.
I've learned a lot from the class, and I've learned a lot more than just the class. He's shown us to actually work hard at everything we do, and he's shown us how to actually use every single tool, and he takes his time with every student. He told us to every day we come out here to act like it's an actual job instead of a class.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to get into the building trades when you get out of school?
Yeah, I believe that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. You think that you would have been interested in that if you hadn't taken this class?
Not really. I wasn't really interested in the class until I got in here, and I actually loved it.
Even if you're not going into the building trade, it's good to know for your own self, your personal experience. So I guess when you get older, if you need something done on your own, you can do it instead of hiring someone else. Probably the most thing I've learned is how to work with others, not just yourself.
Have you seen everybody's skill level rise since they started this?
Absolutely, yeah. We start in the classroom. Of course, we start with safety. The next thing I teach after that is how to read a ruler. That's one of the most important things out here, and they all usually grasp that pretty quick. And when we get out here, a lot of them have never picked up a saw, have never used a drill, and within a few weeks, everybody seems to be pretty comfortable. And by the end of the semester, I can really see that they've progressed a lot from the beginning.
When this job is finished, have you got another one lined out yet?
Not at this time, but we have spoken with a few people, just haven't locked into a contract yet. If anyone is interested, though, in having us build a cabin for them, they just need to contact the school here at Volunteer High School and get in touch with myself or Mr. Adrian Smith.